So hello everyone, hi victorious ones. How is everyone doing today? I am feeling pretty good. I'm not going to say what I'm doing, but it's pretty adventurous. I have to keep that private. I want to go a little deeper on my story. One of my mentors told me to, whatever you share, make sure that you're healed from it. And my God, I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready to share my story, just a snippet of my story. And today I feel pretty good. I haven't felt this great ever in my life, because I feel at peace. Like, I trusted in God and He came through. He literally came through. About 3 years ago, I was facing the unimaginable. I was facing the fact that I was 6 months pregnant and I had to move out of my house. And it was very difficult to find even an apartment, a decent apartment that didn't cost an arm, a leg, and a kidney. And it was hard to find a house too for rent. And in my heart, I really did not want to rent out a house, because I did not want to get kicked out of that house. I really love stability and security. So you guys, it was just really hard on me. It was a storm that was inside of me. And when I went to work, even my coworkers did not know. Just this very year, I opened up about it to one of my coworkers, and they're like, "What? Are you serious? Like, why didn't you say anything?" Well, I really didn't have an answer of why I should have said anything at all, because really God was in control, and He didn't give me the permission to share with certain people, because He had a plan. And in the midst of it all, I was in school for Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. And I remember seeing a clip where I remember seeing a couple sitting out on their porch, and they were finally out of debt many years. Well, I would say they've been out of debt for a while, and they were just expressing how they felt so good inside, because when they get a phone call from a loved one that's in trouble, they can help out. And if they need a car or if they need a house, they can help out. And my prayer right then and there, I was like, God, I want that to be me. I want to be able to be there for others in such major ways, versus, having to turn my back and say, I'm sorry, it's nothing that I can do. I can't do anything for you. And I did not know. I received a phone call, and literally this person was like, look for a house. Just look for a house. I'm like, what? No, like, my credit is not that great. Like, I'm being transparent here. I'm like, my credit is not that great. And yeah, like, this is like too much. I'm super stressed out, and I'm hiding it in the best way. So I decided to eat really healthy while being pregnant. I ate 2 apples a day. I ate 2 oranges a day. I ate a lot of raw vegetables in between eating my burgers and my pizza with the jalapeno peppers and the pepperoni and the pineapples on it. That's what I was craving. What is so funny to me is that I actually went through levels of dieting, which became my lifestyle. Like, I switched over to being a pescatarian, then I left seafood alone, then I did plant-based, then I did vegetarian, then I was a vegan, and then the final thing that I did was the Dr. Sebi for 40 days, and I switched back to just being a pescatarian. But once I became pregnant, I was craving this pepperoni pizza like it was water, and I avoided it for like 2 days, and my baby was kicking my butt. So I was like, you know what? this is what we about to do. And it was so good, you guys. Right now I'm actually back being a pescatarian. Since then, I've really been enjoying food. And if you are the type where you eat a cupcake or eat something bad and you're like eating it and you're like, oh, I really shouldn't be eating this, don't eat it. Like, unless you're gonna really enjoy it. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy the rib if you're gonna eat the rib. I'm just keeping it real, because that type of attitude, you're wasting your time. You're not even enjoying the food. And then, treat yourself, but also really make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because you don't want it to get to a point where you cannot eat those foods and you have to get surgery and your doctor says if you eat this you're going to throw up. Like, I know someone that's going through that right now. You don't want that to be you. So in the midst of that phone call, I'm like, oh my gosh, my knees are knocking, right? My knees are knocking. I'm just like, what are we going to do? I was in the middle of a premarital counseling as well, and that was unfortunately failing. And there's grace and mercy and forgiveness on my part for sure. This is me expressing and telling my story, and we just couldn't come to an agreement. And I decided, like, I wanted a house, so we just wanted two different things, and that's okay. Sometimes you want different things, but here's the lesson: make sure that you are for real. Make sure that your partner is for real by making actionable moves to see what their reaction will really be. Especially not, you don't want it to be just the idea of what it looks like, because honey, when it comes down to making actionable moves to do what you need to do to get the picture to get the picture that you painted, yeah, it's some work. So one thing's for sure, that night I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. And I remember going over this family member's house, and it was like, okay, what did you find? I found this house. I really loved the way that the rooms looked. It looked very inviting. And it was another house that was okay, but I wanted to have options. And it was a third house too, by the way, that flew off the market. And so I made a phone call to a realtor, because it's really hard getting a house when you don't have a realtor. And if it's another way to get a house without a realtor, please leave a comment below and let me know, because I can pass the information along to someone that needs it. So I made the call, and this gentleman, he was so polite, he was so kind, he was very personable, and we scheduled an appointment to go look at this house that I really like. And so he called me the morning of, was just like, well, it's somebody got it, like they're actually in the middle of purchasing it. And I was heartbroken. I was like, oh, I really like this house. It's ready to go. It didn't have a finished basement, but it was ready to go. It just needed probably a little bit of work, not too much work. And so I moved on. I let it go. And one thing's for sure, like, if it's for you, it's for you. God will make it be so. If you love somebody, if you like someone, and you try so hard to hold on to them and force something, like, just let it go. If it's for you, if that man is for you, honey, he's gonna come and find you, okay? If that woman's for you, don't force it. Don't force her. Just pray about it. Just pray about it and be transparent. So I moved on and looked at all these other houses. And I remember going to the house that was the second choice. I was like, this is a one-way street, and I don't know if I'm digging this. Then I looked across the street, and this man was just sitting on that porch, like, staring at me like this. And I was like, oh, no. He did not take his eyes off of me, and that was creepy to me. I don't know. No, it was just not cool. So I walked inside the house. The house was dark, and then I consider a lot of things. Like, I like my kitchen. I want to cook in my kitchen, feel comfortable in my kitchen. And the kitchen was not popping. I'm gonna say that it just was not popping. And there was a really nice shower. I think that was the only thing that I really liked. They had a shower heads coming from the ceiling too, and I was like, ooh. So I was like, where's the tub? Because my son needed to take a bath. Because my baby needed to take a bath. They said, oh, well, the tub is in the basement. We're not about to be taking baths in the basement. That's kind of weird, you know? I did like that it had a closed-in shed and a closed-in garage. I did like that, and a closed-in backyard. I did like that, but it was something dark about the house, and I was just kind of like, I don't know if I can collect enough olive oil to run this bad spirit away. It was just something about the street. I was like, no, we're cool. So I'm like, no, we're cool. So I just kept going. Weeks went by, and then I received a phone call from the realtor, and he was like so excited. I'm like, whoa, what's up with all this excitement? And then next thing you know, he's like, you won't believe it. The house that you originally called me for is available again. We have to get moving right away because these houses are flying off the market. So I'm like, what house are you talking about? I totally forgot about the house that I originally wanted. So that's how much I'll let go of it. So the next day I had to actually be at work like at 9:30, and he was like, well, we can get there at 8:30. Would that be enough time, honey? Because I was wobbling around like I was 7 months pregnant at this time. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm doing this, but let's go. So I'm like, I only need 20 minutes because I can scan a room, honey, the cabinets. I do what I need to do, okay? So I scanned it, and then next thing you know, we're sitting down, and he's like, well, what's next? So here is the tearjerker, you guys. I can't cry right now because where I'm at, messing my makeup. I did not bring my makeup pack. Don't reject your blessings, especially when somebody say, hey, this is your blessing. Don't reject it, because you don't know if it would ever come back around, or if it would come around in time for that very need that you have. I almost rejected this blessing. This specific person, I call him family, was on my tail, would not give up, would not rest, would not let me go. They would not let me go for nothing because God told them not to let me go. Like, I don't know where I would be if God did not tell them that. Because they had not just one person, but 4 people willing to go up to $300,000 in cash to buy me a house. They vetted me. Some of them knew about me for 10 years. They were CEOs of companies. I was just in disbelief. And then God showed me, remember you were sitting in that room in that class and you want and desire to be that person to be generous? Now may not be the time for you to be generous, but now it's the time for me to use somebody to be generous to you. I kid you not, I was bawling. I was bawling out of control because it took this much faith for me to say, yes, I will receive. And once I made that phone call, they got things moving. And I learned so much about a wish list, getting an inspection to see what needs to be done, and that will be applied to the wish list, which can be $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, depending on what needs to be fixed in the house. And then you can actually take that and deduct it from the cost that you're paying it for. Like, it was so many things I've learned. And in the midst of it, the enemy was trying to tell me, well, how are you going to afford this? You about to have a baby. And also, my prayer to God was to stay at home with my son. That way that he can be nurtured and loved. God blessed me to do that. It wasn't easy. I was pinching pennies and balancing out bills and saying, well, this bill is going to have to wait. But the bill that was most important was my mortgage. And the beauty and the blessing of that is that my mortgage wasn't skyrocket high. I got this house before everything went up. And in the contract, it's promised that this will remain the price forever unless I just pay it off, and then there's nothing to pay for. But the blessing of it all, that's why I'm here to tell you, don't give up. I felt horrible knowing that I had a baby out of wedlock, and I waited 11 years. 11 years to seriously date someone. Now, I wasn't just not dating and going out on dates, but I was dating throughout those years with intentionality. Okay? Getting to know someone, being intentional. And those people, they were just not my people, but I thought that this person was my person because we were on the same page. And one thing's for sure, don't allow people to come into your relationship. That's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. The people that you need to have in your relationship is the people that have wisdom and knowledge. True wisdom and knowledge. And I would not suggest you allowing someone to dip in that already have a stock of feelings invested into you, because they're gonna move off their emotions and steer you the wrong way, because the enemy is just sitting back waiting to use somebody to make sure that you do not unite, because he knows how powerful two will be in a marriage that's put together by God. So don't give up. Here I was on my way to do God's will, and I stumbled and I fell, and I was ready to just reject this blessing. I don't care where you at in life. I don't care if you're homeless. I don't care if you made the biggest mistake in life. People going to try to throw it up in your face, but you say, you know what? Thank you for showing me who you are. You really don't have to say that to them. You just move accordingly. God reveals if you want him to reveal. You just ask God, reveal the people in my life. Are they going where I am going? That don't mean that we're better than them. That just means that they're just not ready for what God has for you. So here I am today. I listened to one of my mentors. He said, develop a new skill. I'm a licensed insurance agent for health, accident, and life. And I'm going to be teaching you all about IULs. If you are interested in getting some benefits, please contact. I have a contact below in the description box. Please do not be shy. Ask all the questions that you want to ask, because I am here to help you all build generational wealth. And you don't have to just wait for a death benefit. You can actually receive living benefits. And I just may do a part 2 as well. As far as me losing my house at 6 months pregnant, I would love to go deeper into what you should and should not do when you get your first house. Okay? So there will be a part 2 to this video. If you are pregnant, if you are breastfeeding and you need some tips, please leave the questions below. Because, honey, I'm still breastfeeding, and he's still my baby. He's about to be 3 years old, and I'm still breastfeeding. Nothing's wrong with it. Who cares what people think? They're gonna think of you and be like, oh, that's not even cute, and then won't talk to you for a whole year. Bye. And they won't talk to you for a whole year because you're breastfeeding, and they got an opinion. You just say, well, bye, God bless you. But no, seriously, if you all need any advice, please visit my Wisio page. If you need prayer, please scroll all the way down and receive a free prayer, because I am here for you. Victorious ones, do not give up. Do not give up. And if you have not checked out my music videos, please check out Battle Depression Anthem. Share it with somebody that you love and somebody that you don't really care about, because we all need grace and mercy. Follow me on Instagram at Mariah_Lovemore and on TikTok at Mariah Lovemore. And check out my beauty page and receive 10% off by using the code NAIJA10. And until next time, see ya.